So thanks everyone for joining on a Thursday evening. My name is Riccardo. For those that don't know me directly, I'm the co-founder of Peace. And today we're going to show you the latest opportunity, which is Corso Racconigi 125. With me, there is also Jader.
Hi guys, my name is Jader Manno, and I'm the growth marketing and sales leads at Peace. And I will accompany Riccardo in this session tonight. So we will explain a lot of things. Thank you very much for attending this webinar.
Amazing. So let's get started. Before showcasing Racconigi, I just wanted to share a little bit of why we built Peace in the first place. And the main objective was to provide to every Domenico, Riccardo, and Jader the opportunity to start investing into real estate from a small amount, providing the possibility to diversify and picking and choosing single asset with full transparency, which is something completely missing into the market, while providing the opportunity to liquidate the investments with a secondary market. So let's get started with Racconigi. So before getting and deep diving into the opportunity itself, we decided to operate in specific cities and provide opportunities in starting in Turin, which is, for those that doesn't know, it's in the northwest of Italy, home to 930,000 people, and it's the third biggest university hub in Italy. It hosts more than 114,000 students with two major hubs. One is Polytechnic of Turin with 34,000, with a big percentage coming from international. And then there is a University of Turin with 80,000 students.
I can add on this, Riccardo, that this city has increased a lot the population, the student population of the past year. If I'm not wrong, the population has grown by 18% in the last 8 years. So this is something crazy for an Italian city.
Absolutely. And this has created somewhat of a gap between demand and supply of students, student housing specifically. So there is a growing population of students, especially international students, while the supply of apartments and university locations is somewhat capped and limited. And this has created a structural imbalance that we are aiming to basically cover by providing students apartments and rental beds into the Turin University areas. Corso Racconigi is centrally located in an area that's perfect for university students. It's just 6 minutes by bike from Politecnico, and easily reachable by bus or even by walk. So it's a residential area close to the city center, with both has the commercial side but also strong residential part. In fact, there is all amenities are close by, such as the bus stops, supermarkets, parks, shops, etc. So it makes it a really good location for student housing. Just to provide a little bit of perspective about the opportunity, the purchase price of a square meter in the area, it's close to 2,300 euros per square meter. And we made a very good acquisition with an average price of per square meter of 1,300 euros. And this is significantly below market price. So this way we can provide already a big upside coming from a good opportunity purchased at a discount. In fact, we're talking about more than 40% discount versus average price per square meter. If we look at the overall market, we can see that over the past 5 years, the property values and prices have significantly increased. The purchase price per square meter increased by more than 20% in the last 5 years. And the rental price as well by 26%. So we see a very dynamic market accelerating over the past year. And the opportunity of Racconigi 125 is perfect to capture the rental yield appreciation that we've seen in the market.
So it's more than 5% a year as an appreciation growth, which is close to Milan, actually. This is very interesting.
Absolutely, indeed. If we start looking at the property itself, we purchased the asset at 188,000 euros for a 140 square meter apartment. We renovated it and furnished, making it suitable for 5 students and young workers to live in, with a comfortable common area with a modern kitchen and tables. Each room, it's equipped with all amenities coming from bed, cupboards, desk, to make it suitable, especially for students. Just to provide a little bit of before and after. So we purchased the apartment that was completely emptied. We made some renovation. We worked on the electrical system. We built an extra room in the living room, so to provide actually the apartment to flip the apartment for up to 5 rooms. And we shifted the kitchen in one of the room, making it an extra room. So here on the bottom right, we can see the planimetry updated with 5 rooms, 5 single rooms for student rental basically.
I just moved the camera so it's more visible now.
All right, very good. Going deeper on the financial information, the apartment has a total expected rental return of 9%, which is composed of 2 areas, 2, let's say, buckets. The first is an expected rental yield of 6.5% and expected appreciation return of 2.5% per annum, bringing the total expected return of 9%. Just as a reminder, how PEACE works is that the expected rental yield is paid out on a quarterly basis, versus the appreciation return is paid out based on the actual selling and the upside of the investment once the investment it's sold into the market. From day one, you start receiving the rental yield directly to your bank account. So you don't need to wait that the apartment gets filled. But one of the features of PEACE is really to provide assets already income generating. So from the first quarter that you make an investment, you start receiving the rental yields. So to provide a little bit of the breakdown about the financials, and here at PEACE, we want to make it sure that we provide the transparent information to the investors, providing all the financial information to make a conscious decision, and also the transparency on the cost side. So we purchased the flat for 188,000 euros. We had some closing fees and costs coming from agency, but also the notary. We paid the acquisition tax of 20,000 euros. And then we spent around 16K for the renovation part, considering all included, both the paintings, the electrical system, the plumbing, etc., and around 7,000 for the furniture to refurnish basically the single rooms. Then we have a cash reserve of 4,800 euros that is meant for extraordinary costs, not to incur in any or reduction into the rental yields. So this cash reserve is accumulated basically for extraordinary costs. For example, some extraordinary maintenance of the apartment or something breaks, we try to use the cash reserve while not impacting the rental yield.
And what if the cash reserve is not used at the end of the investment period?
Then it's returned to the investor as a bonus. So it's going to be returned as part of the capital that it's returned to the final investor.
Nice.
And then last but not least, we have a arrangement fee, which is let's say the fee that it's applied by the SPV that holds the asset. And this takes in consideration both the acquisition cost of the asset, but also the due diligence that is done in order to source and also propose the right quality assets on the platform. And this brings a total investment of 264,000 euros. If we go instead on the rental projections, here we have a gross rent of 25,800 euros. And then we have a couple of extra points that we want to highlight that we already consider into the rental yield, both a 3% vacancy, expected vacancy for the single rooms, the expected maintenance of the flat on a yearly base, which comprises of approximately 5% of the gross rent, the management fee of piece, which are 15%, so to make sure that the asset is correctly managed, and we provide the right support to the tenants. We charge a 15% on the gross rent, and the property tax that it's 1,800 euros, and there is a small tokenization fee in order to provide the product to the retail investors, which is 1,500 euros. So this brings to a total net income of 17,000 euros. That converts to around 6.45% rental yield, and based on the specific of the apartment and considering we purchased at a significant discount versus market price, we have an expected appreciation yield of around 2.5%. So total expected returns is of close to 9%.
Super cool. So maybe some of you are wondering what is a piece at the very end. So we can say that a piece is a tokenized security. This is the correct definition. And its structure compared to the equity structure is completely different. So unlike equity, piece is a tokenized security tied to a single property rental profit and the price appreciation, as we just saw. So it's different because being tied to a rental profit of a single property, it's more actually safe for the holder of the piece. At the same time, it provides significant protection compared to the traditional equity models. So this is something that we implemented in order to make the investors safer than with the equity model. At the same time, a security token is a digital representation of a real financial asset. So some of you may have heard about the real world assets. This is close to it. So it is actually what it is. So these kind of tokens are issued on the Polygon network, which is an Ethereum layer 2 blockchain. And it brings a lot of advantages to it with the blockchain technology, meaning the total transaction transparency. So you can, all the time, you can see on the blockchain the transactions, which are completely public. At the same time, it's completely immutable. As you may know, on blockchain, data are immutable and have public visibility. And this means that we have enhanced security and traceability for all investors in pieces. So this is a very innovative model, very safe for investors. This is what we want to achieve. But maybe some of you are here because they were very attracted by these 30.24% of annualized yields that our investors in our other property, Cigna 35, got in the last quarter. So this is true. They got such a high yield, and how is it is possible? It is possible thanks to this kind of mechanism that we have thought and that we implement in our model. So basically, we call it the early bird mechanism. It means that all the income from the property is distributed to the pieces that which have been actually sold to the investors. So we do not, let's say, retain the income from the unsold pieces, but we give all the income from the property to all current investors and actual investors. So when a property is newly launched, for example, it means that at the very beginning, of course, only few pieces are held and sold and held. This means that these few investors will get all the pie of the income from the property. So this is huge for the very early investors in the property. And regarding the current opportunity in Racconigi 1 to 5, the one that we are examining in this live session, until the property is fully sold, it means that the early investors can capture these bond yields. And Racconigi 1 to 5 has a lot of pieces since it's a very expensive property, meaning that there is a lot of room for investors to take advantage of this early bird mechanism. But let's see how it works with more, let's say, graphic example. So we have on the, let's say, lower part of the slide, the rental income, which is distributed every quarter. Instead of distributing it to, let's say, proportional to every piece that are available for that property, we only distribute it to the pieces that are actually sold. So the investors holding these sold pieces will get the whole rental income for that quarter. This is why in Cigna 35, the past quarter, those investors got 30% on annualized return. Just an example for Racconigi 125, this would mean, for example, that if we have an expected rental yield of 6.45%, considering only the rental yield, as I was saying before, annualized, of course, if only the 1/3 of the pieces are sold, investors would get 19.35% of rental yield annualized. This is the mechanism that we thought of, and this is the mechanism thanks to which our early investors can really have higher yields than the expected ones for the rental part. Okay, so let's go on and let's see also other similar financial products so that we can make a comparison. As you may know, PEACE is a security token, as I was saying before, and its target yearly yields right now with as an early supporter that I will explain you later what it is and how it functions, is close to 9.5%. So it means that it's very, very attractive, especially for considering that emerging market bonds are around 10.13%, but which with a very, very high risk, of course, while it's a safer and less riskier financial products like Bond USA have very, very lower interest and yields around 4.15%. Italian BTP, it's even lower, actually 3.42%. So all these kind of products are here because they make you understand that PEACE really have a lot of very good, let's say, target yearly yields on the basic plan, let's say, not even considering the mechanism that I was talking about before. And at the same time, we can say that other similar products have lower yields, basically. This is very, very attractive. Of course, we hope that we will always have these kind of properties having so high yields. So far, it's going very well, I would say. On the lower part, you can also see I will just switch the position. You can also see the sources from where I took this kind of data from. So just to make a comparison so that you can make your, let's say, evaluation. Of course, diversification of the portfolio is one of the most important strategies for any investor. So this is not just a matter of how much yields you get, but also how much you can diversify and how many different financial products you can have in your portfolio. At the same time, of course, PEACE allows the investors to have different properties and to even furtherly diversify within the same kind of products. Okay, what about the data framework then? Now, thanks to the new platform that we just launched in December, we are fully compliant with the MiFID II directives, and now we are supervised by the German authority, the BaFin, which is basically the German financial authority, close to the concept for Italy. So not much to say about this, but just that the legal framework is very, very structured and safe for investors. And the Early Supporters Club, as I was mentioning before, we have this kind of new opportunity, this kind of program for our early supporters, which is giving an extra perk of 10% cashback on interest from rentals. So what does it mean? I will explain it with a very simple example. We have, as Riccardo was explaining before, two factors in our final expectation of yields for each property. One is given by rentals and the other one is given by appreciation. So on rentals, thanks to the Early Supporters Club, each member joining it can have a plus 10% as a cashback from this part. So just to say, as you can see here, so 6.45% from rentals will just become 7.095%. So it will increase by 10%, meaning that the overall expected yield for this property annualized will be 9.63% rather than 8.99, which is very, very interesting, of course, and this is totally free. In order to join it, you just have to register to the new platform with the same email that you had used for the older platform. There is only one but, because this early supporters club is joinable only by 28th of February, so only a few days missing. This is a very nice opportunity. The only thing that you have to do is just register to the platform, and then everything is automatic. So you will automatically join the club. Okay, moving on. We are getting close to the end of the live session, so now time for your questions, if any, of course. If not, it means that we have been very, very clear with our explanation. Okay, so don't be shy. Okay, first question by Raffaele. It would be nice to have in the newsletter an estimated roadmap of future apartments. Okay, thank you very much for this suggestion. We will actually definitely take it into account. And I personally take care of the newsletter, so taking notes. Thank you very much for this suggestion.
Yes, and Raffaele, also you could in the website directly, you can also see the upcoming properties, where you can start already seeing all the location, the financial information, and you could also manifest your interest to get notified once the property will get available. And the way it works is that those ones that manifest interest, we tend to share the go live a little bit early. So this is a way also for you to get notified in early stage versus the rest to actually continue to visit the website and manifest your interest on the available properties that we have on the website. We have assets right now and opportunities in Milan, Rome, Venice, and Padua. So you can already start looking into the different opportunities.
Yeah, and you can even express your interest in terms of how many pieces you would like to buy as soon as this property is available. Okay, a couple more questions. So Domenico, how about new property availability? To differentiate, I mean. Okay, I'll let Riccardo answer this question again.
Yeah, so here we try to provide always new opportunity and fresh opportunity on Peace. Here it comes in line with the pipe that we have. We tend, as we are selecting only the best properties, around only the 2% of the property we analyze are actually ending up on the platform. We want to be sure that only the top quality are provided to the retail investors. And we provide on a monthly base new opportunities. The next one, I'm not. We have a strong pipe, as you can see on the website. We will provide it probably around March. So stay tuned and always continue to visit the website, but also manifest the interest on available properties.
And Francesco is asking another question. So if there are two investors at the end of the first, okay, this is long. If there are two investors at the end of the first quarter, and one investor has one piece and the other has two pieces, the first one will get 1/3 of the rental revenues, and the second one 2/3 of these of the rental revenues, I suppose, right? I mean, at the end of the quarter for a specific property. Yes, this is exactly correct. So basically, this is exactly what this kind of early investment mechanism works, and you got the point. Correct.
Exactly. So the rental income is distributed on the sold pieces. This means that as long as the property is not fully sold, we provide extra return to the investors. As the example that we showed earlier, if the property, only 33% of the property is sold, we provide basically, let's go back here, we provide 3x the annualized yield that's distributed for their quarter. And the distribution here happens directly to your bank account. So once the quarter ends, we distribute, you will receive a direct bank transfer to your bank. So you always need to add your, make sure you add your IBAN code into your personal information so that we can provide the distribution on time.
Okay, on the Q&A only section here, we have 3 more questions from Jean-Francois, Christopher, and Felix. So the first one, is Racconigi already rented all 5 rooms?
Yes, it is. So they are rented to all university students coming from Politecnico. And this is a key feature also of Peace, that we provide opportunities that are already rented from day one. And this is how we can provide a solid quarterly distribution from the first quarter that you start investing. And this is a major differentiator that we have, as we provide already profitable opportunities before listing into the website.
Yeah, this is not crowdfunding, just to say it very clearly. Okay, second question, Christopher. I can sell my piece on your platform later on, right? What will happen to the rental yield from the quarter if I sell like in month 2 from 3 from the quarter? So I can answer to the first part of the question. Yes, we are implementing a secondary market on our platform, so it will be soon available. There are only 2 conditions for being able to participate to the secondary market. The first one is that you have to hold your pieces for at least 6 months. This is the so-called holding period. Second condition is that all pieces of that property have to be completely sold out. So, but let's say most likely this will happen very easily. So these are the 2 conditions to, let's say, enter the secondary market, to list your pieces in the secondary market. Then I let Riccardo answer the second part of the question. So what will happen to the rental yield from the quarter if I sell like in month 2 from 3 from the quarter?
So we look at the owner of the pieces at the end of the quarter. So based on the ownership of the last day of the quarter, we distribute the interest on who holds the piece end of the quarter. So if you want to receive basically the rental yield, you should wait end of the quarter to sell your pieces, or actually the day after the end of the quarter.
This is the best time slot to sell your pieces. Then Felix, who is holding the rest of the pieces from the total amount of the property?
So this is it's the entity that owns the asset, which is it's a German. The assets are owned by an SPV, which is called the German Estate Group, and this entity owns the asset. So the pieces, until the property is not fully sold, the rental income coming from the remaining pieces are simply distributed to the ones that actually bought the pieces.
Yeah,
so,
these slides make it very clear. So these available pieces are, let's say, held by this entity that Riccardo was mentioning, but the rental income is given only to the sold pieces, entirely to the sold pieces.
Exactly.
And another question from Domenico. So the plan is to push this property to completion before acquiring new ones, kind of MVP style?
In reality, no. We continue to create a pipe of good quality asset on a rolling base. So we don't wait to completely sell an asset before purchasing or offering on the platform. So it's really on the rolling base, based on the finding the right quality asset to offer to the platform. So we don't wait for Racconigi to be fully sold.
Okay, let's see if any other question. All right, so if there are no other questions, we can thank you very much for participating to this live session. I really hope that you enjoyed it. It was quick enough, I suppose, so 30 minutes, this is perfect. So just scan this QR code just to look at this property. It will direct you to the page of the property, and from there you can have a lot of full data about the property itself that we actually mentioned, but you can go even deeper into the property. You can have a call with us whenever you need it. So just send us an email, and we will happily have a call with you one-on-one. And last but not least, do not forget to use this code OVLaunch30 when registering to the new platform to have a 30 euros cashback bonus. So that, this is our incentive for you as a welcome reward for registering to the new platform. Do not forget that the Early Supporters Club is deadline to join is ending soon, so on the 28th of February. And with this, I just let Riccardo say a couple of words to close it, and then we can say bye-bye.
Yes, so thanks everyone for being part of today's session, and also to be part of Peace Community. We're still small, but we want to provide the right quality assets and right opportunity for you to invest on the platform. So register to be updated on the new launches and also evolution of the platform, as we have like a very interesting pipe coming up in the next few months. So stay tuned, and thanks a lot for joining us tonight.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys. See you.